Hello, class. I hope everyone has had a restful weekend and is ready for a week filled with math lessons. Before starting our lesson for today, I would like to start by introducing myself and the rest of the math team. I am Mr. Fuentes, and next to me is Mr. Morris, and at the bottom corner, you will see Mr. Bush. Starting this week, our daily schedule has changed. As you can see, the time for each class period has increased, and you will virtually be attending every class. Your advisory will now be from 8:20 to 8:52. First and sixth period will be from 8:56 to 10:08. Second and seventh period will go from 10:12 to 11:23. Third and eighth period will be from 11:27 to 1:14. Now, when you come back in person, seventh grade will go to sea lunch, which will be from 12 to 12:35. Eighth grade will be going to D lunch from 12:40 to 1:14, and fourth and ninth period will be from 1:18 to 2:30. Fifth and 10th period will be from 2:34 to 3:46. Now, for those of you that do decide to come back in person, you will have an additional advisory from 3:50 to 3:55. Since we are starting to meet on a daily basis, I recommend that you purchase a spiral notebook similar to the one that is shown on this slide. And start using your Cornell note strategies. Here I have demonstrated a brief example of how you might want to lay out your notes. Okay, so today our lesson is over TEKS 7.4a, which states the following. Our learning objective for today will be HEAL scholars will be able to represent constant rates of change in mathematical or real-world problems given pictorial, tabular, verbal, numeric, graphical, and algebraic representation, including D equal RT. And today we will be focusing on the formula D is equal to RT, where D represents distance, R is your rate, and T will be time. Today's demonstration of learning, given one question, I will apply and extend previous understanding of constant rate of change in mathematical and real-world problems to find a solution. So, my first problem is that I'm planning to visit my family out in San Antonio. So I need some help as far as figuring out how long it would take me to make it there, okay? So I know two of the variables for the formula, but I need to figure out the third one. So the steps for solving these problems will be first, you read, you annotate, and then you use the triangle diagram, which is provided for us right up here. The triangle diagram is divided into three sections, with D being on top and R and T on the bottom. Distance, which is D, is equal rate times time, which I'm going to put it times. And rate, which is R, is distance divided by time, a division sign right there. And time is equivalent to distance divided by rate, another division right there, okay? So again, the steps state to read, annotate, then use the triangle diagram. So I'm gonna read the problem for you. Mr. Fuentes is planning a trip down to San Antonio to visit his family. The distance between Dallas and San Antonio is approximately 270 miles. Suppose Mr. Fuentes follows the speed limit and drives 60 miles per hour. How long will it take him to make it to San Antonio? So again, I've did the first step. I've read the problem. Now I have to annotate. And I'm going to annotate using cubes. So if I use cubes, the first one says to circle all numbers. So I'm going to circle my numbers. And I think that's all of them. So I completed C. Second one says to underline the question. underline the question. And the third one will be B, to box in keywords. So some of the keywords is per hour. And my boxes are not quite that good, but you can read them. Let's see, what else can I box in? Let me see. Distance. And what else? Let's see, I got my distance, miles, and I could do speed too. Okay. Okay, so I boxed in my keywords. E will be to eliminate, so I can basically eliminate everything else. And S will be for solve. So I gotta actually look at my problem and see what's given to me and how I'm gonna go about solving it. Now, remember, third step is to use a triangle diagram. So I know that one of the keywords that I boxed in is distance, and the distance is given to me as 270 miles. So I know that D is provided, and D is 270. I'm going to write it in place of the D, which is on top. Okay, let's see what else is provided. Per hour, per hour. Per is a key word for rate, which is 60 miles. Again, remember that per is a key word for rate, and that means that R would be 60. So I'm going to put the 60 right in here. And I need to solve for T, which is time. So I'm given distance, rate, and I'm solving for time. So then I look back up here and let's see, I'm solving for time and I'm given distance and rate. So in order to solve for time, I have to divide distance by rate. So distance is 270. And I'm going to divide that by the rate, which is 60 miles per hour. Okay. Well, I know that 60 does not divide into 2, so that's 0. I know that 60 does not divide into 27, so that'll be another 0. And I also understand that there's a decimal after my whole number. And I'm going to bring that decimal straight up. Okay. So now I got to figure out, well, how many times does 60 go into 270? Well, let me start by first putting 60 plus 60 gives me 120. Well, that's still not quite. Plus 60, 180. Plus another 60 will be 240. Well, let's see, another 60 will be 300. So 300 is past 270. So my answer would be right here, which would be 1, 2, 3, 4 times. And 4 times 60 gives me 240. 270 minus 240 is 30. I bring down another 0. So now I have 300. Now I know that 60 goes into 300. Here's 300. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. So 5 times 60 gives me 300. I'm getting a little sloppy here, sorry. And 300 minus 300 is 0. So therefore my answer is 4.5. So I'm going to write my answer down here, 4.5. And I can't forget the units that we're talking about. We're talking about time. We solve for time. So 4.5 hours is our units. So our answer is 4.5.